soon I will.
Oh, okay, so right now.
No, it's on YouTube.
Oh, is it on YouTube? Can I get the link from you?
Sure.
I'm gonna send it to Abby. Or is it? Oh, it needs a password?
No, you don't need a password. I don't need a password. I had it nice and set up and then got here. Internet's crap.
Oh, it won't work. No, I think you just text it to me. 965 5695. Thank you. Thanks for this.
Which state?
Oh! Private. Yeah, I'll change that.
The replay, they look like it.
That happens.
When you do the camera there?
I don't have a headset, so I'm gonna have to.
Like a Bluetooth phone?
I do, but it doesn't connect to this phone very well. Tell me if something goes wrong, I guess.
Okay.
Thanks. What number? Hello, folks. Welcome to Argyll, or Argyll Arena. Okay, here we go. Hello, folks. Welcome to Argyll Arena. This is the kickoff Crusher Cup 2026 for the Canada Crushers and KC Elite. Crushers win the face-off, put it in the KC zone. Picked up by the face, up back to number 14. Wheel around to the far side. KC's going to come out of their zone. That's chopped back into the zone by Stoika. Reinhardt in the shot, off the chest of the goaltender, cleared away, and back to the point. Shot by Wilton, goes to the far side. Haynes is going to put up the sideboards for KC, chipped up, and that ends up in the KC bench. We got our first stop of the period with 14:29 left in the first period. So folks, time for length of the periods in the tournament are 15 minutes for the first, thereafter 20 minutes. Pucks drop, Crushers win it. Put over to the near side. That's knocked down by KC at the line. Gray's back to play it for the Crushers. Moved up the near side. That skips past Turin. And that's going to be an icing call. We'll have the face-off back in the Crusher zone. .14 left in the first period. No score on the board. KC wins in the offensive zone. Back to the point, goes left side. Over to the far corner. Man activates for KC, sweeps it around to the near side. Centering pass. Won by Everett. Nice, and that is steered aside by Lee. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Here's Peterson trying to jam it forward. That's going to be taken away by KC. Comes up the near side, centering pass. KC's into the Crusher zone. Comes down low. When the arm of ref is up, he's going to indicate a head contact call, which is going to put the Crushers in the penalty box for 2 minutes. Parker, Peterson Shaw into the box, 2 minutes for head contact, called with 13:36 left in the first period. Draw, far side of the ice. KC wins it. Swept over to the far corner. Picked up by the Crushers. Jammed forward. We're going to move it down the ice. Coming up the left side. James heading towards the net. Backhand shot comes off the backside. Cleared away to the far boards. Coming out of the corner, KC regains possession of the puck. Handed up the ice to the far side. Dunlop's going to get that up. Trying to look for Fayette. It skids past him. Up the near side. Crushers throw it up the boards. Knocked down by KC. Comes into the slot. Swept over to the far corner. Backhanded by Lehman and into the KC zone. We're going to check that the head contact penalty was a 4-minute penalty. There's 3.5 left for KC's man advantage. Crushers with the puck. They clear it back down into the KC zone. Heavy on the forecheck. Reinhardt with it. Moves it up to the point. Held in by Wilton. Wilton is going to sweep that behind the net. Picked up by number 4, Snowden of KC. Trying to wheel it out. Now sends it to the far side. Picked up by Dunlop. KC shovels that into the Crusher zone. Quickly picked up by the Crushers. Jolicoeur Gagnon. He hands that off to Wilton. Wilton is going to move that out to the neutral zone. KC with the puck in their own zone. Lobbeck receives the pass at center. That's broken up by Wilton. Puck goes to the far boards. KC dances in the zone. Quick 2-on-1 duck the other way. Thrown out in front, and the pass mishandled. Comes over to the near side. Put back to the point for Labby. Down low. Back forward. Wide. Sitting on the backside. I think Crushers again clear the puck down the ice. 2:15 left with the man advantage as KC Moves the puck into the Crusher zone. Gray is going to take that away from the Crushers. Throws that down the ice. Black hidden on his horse. Gets in front. Turns around. And he's taking it heavily into the boards. Here's hauled down. Not hauled down, but held. Heading towards the net. And we'll play 4-4 for almost exactly 2 minutes. 1:59 left in the Crusher penalty. And a fresh 2 for Simmons of KC with 11:34 left in the first period. No score on the board yet. Face off near side in the KC elite zone. KC wins that draw, but I was going to take that to the far side. Drops that back. There goes Haynes moving up the near side. That's turned around at center. Puck back into the KC zone. Drop behind the net again. KC going up the far side. Skips past Loblick. Gray crosses over and picks up the puck in his own zone. Oh, a heavy hit on the near boards. Puck does come out to the neutral zone. KC tries to clear, but they're caught offside. We got to stop here with 11:02 left in the first period. Puck goes into the KC zone. Barbasov moves that up the far side. Dropped up in the air. Vidovchenko comes back. Battles against Loblick for the puck. Comes loose from Raul. He takes a heavy hit. There's a big one on the boards on the far side. Raul wants revenge. Gets the puck back for the Crushers. Again up the far side. KC sweeps that back to the far boards. Picked up by Fadai. Move that over to Haynes. Haynes comes into the zone. There's a shot off the glove of Lee and sent flying over the net. KC picks up their own rebound. Walking in again. Haynes with the shot. That hit his stick goes to the far side. Battle occurred on the near side. And Utley's going to end up for interference. KC back on the power play. It's going to be a unique 4-on-3 when we drop the puck on the far side in the Crusher zone. 10:16 left in the first period. No score on the board. KC on the power play. Crushers win the draw. Clear the puck down the ice. Chalafo back for KC Elite. Wheeling it out of the zone. Here he comes across center. Far side into the Crusher zone. Stops. Hands it back to Snowden. Snowden. Far side. That's moved down into the corner. Back to the point for Snowden. There's the shot. That's kicked down in front by James. Puck comes over to the near boards. Snowden loses it to Wilton. Wilton trying to walk it or jam it into the zone. He's held up. And Snowden's going to end up in the box here. And we'll continue the penalty rally. Now the Crushers will be on the power play. Face off near side. James tries to fire that towards it. It hits the body and goes wide. Peterson shot, trying to pull it up. James loosens up on the far side. KC able to get that out to the neutral zone. Wilton puts that out to the boards for James to chip in. But I gets there first. He's going to rush it around the far side. Cut off by Peterson. James followed up by Nice. Nice will put that down the ice. Darlick puts it behind the Crusher net. Picked up on the far side by Angelique Gagnon, and the Crushers get that out to center now. Wilton coming up the right side. Puts that down low. Jammed over to the near corner. Picked up by James. Taylor keeps that in the zone, sends that to the opposite corner where Peterson Shaw picks that up for the Crushers. Battles through one check, comes loose over to the near side. Haynes is going to get that. Gray off the bench, keeps it in the zone, comes loose, play it. Sends it back to his own zone, and Taylor's going to reset for the Crushers. Far side, tapped up. With speed, here comes Peterson Shaw into the zone. Comes to the right side, hanging on to it. Moves in front for Taylor. Taylor, the backhand was blocked. Comes up, and Reinhardt's going to pick up the loose puck. Reinhardt spins to the far boards. There's a long shot. And making the save is KC's Buell. Got to stop here with 8:03 left in the first period. Crushers still on the power play for 29 more seconds. Far side picked up by the Crushers. Taylor keeps that into the line, sends it to the far side. Crushers hanging on to the puck in the zone. Sent to the far side. Reinhardt with it. Takes a look. Trying to go. That's kicked. Cox tried to direct that towards the net and it ends up going wide. Taylor keeps that in the line. Here's Reinhardt with it. Looking back for Cox. Skips past him. Goes to the far corner. Swept over to the near side. Picked up by Lehman. Taylor keeps that in on the boards. Sent down low for Reinhardt. Reinhardt. Backhand shot. Off and over the shoulder of the KC goaltender, and the Crusher open up the scoring with 7:26 left in the first period to take a 1-0 lead. Just after the penalty to the Elite, KC Elite expired, the Crushers put one just over the shoulder to the goaltender. They're up 1-0. Crushers win the draw. Puck comes over to the near side. Rattler's going to move that up. Tried to center that. That's knocked down. Puck put to the far side. Here's KC coming in. Centering pass. That skips through everyone. Comes over to the near boards. Down to the far side. KC still in possession of the puck. Now it comes loose for the Crushers. Back to the point though. Held in. Rebound just wide of the net. Comes over to the near side. Black puts that up the boards into the neutral zone. Halabi comes back for it. Gets over to Loftus. Put up the near side. Walk right onto it. Whereas Peterson Shaw sends that to the left side. Low shot. Peterson Shaw trying to go for the rebound. Black puts that wide with the backhand. Tries to jam that up the shoulder of the goaltender. Pulls that down and covers it up with 6:21 to go in the first period. Crushers still up 1-0 as they take the face off in the offensive zone. KC comes away with the puck. Chalifo sends that around the far side. Put off the boards. KC's away. Into the Crusher zone. Stops just inside the line. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Halabi with it. Over to Chalifo. Chalifo trying to walk to the near side. Comes into the Crusher zone where Stoika is going to put that back out. Coming back the other way, Seaman. Drops that back to James. James, left side, look for Stoika. Just past him, went right through his wheelhouse. Seaman with it. Put over to the near side. Chalifo gently puts that puck out to neutral. James back to play it. Sends that to the far side. Chalifo, James up to Seaman. Seaman comes into the KC zone. KC gets the puck back, but looks like we have a hold being called. against number 50 of KC. So with 5:24 left in the first period, Crushers back on the power play. Bucks drop. Reinhardt wins it for the Crushers. Hangs onto it. Sweeps that down to Taylor. Taylor in the near corner. Throws that in front. That's down over to the far board. Morrow throws back to the point. Gray. Over to Morrow. Low shot. Steered aside. Reinhardt picks up the puck again. Back to the point to Taylor. Taylor over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt walks that in, gets past one defender, can't get the shot off. Now it comes from the other side by turn. Casey's going to get a hold of that puck, clear the zone. 1:20 left in the Crusher power play with 4:40 left in the period. Crusher is up 1-0 as they pick up the puck in the zone, turned over. That was a loose one. Crushers get it back though. Errant pass that's going to be picked up by Simmons of Casey at center. Grim lost control of the puck. Now he gets it back. Whistle goes, and it looks like Gray will be in the box. Charging penalty being issued with 4:20 left in the first period. Teams will play 4-on-4 for 57 seconds, and then KC will be on the power play. Puck's dropped in the Crusher zone. Crushers win it. Utley throws that to the open ice. That's picked off by the Crushers. Or sorry, the KC Elite. Comes on the near side. On the Stone, back to the point. Simmons. Over to Huberstone. His centering pass knocked down by the Crushers. Peterson shot trying to jam it out the far side. Caught against the far boards. Puck comes loose. Sent over to the near side. Crushers get the puck back. Here's Utley coming up the right side. There's a high shot. Comes off the glass. Peterson shot. Sends that below the goal line again. Peterson picks that up for a lead on the near side. Drops that back for Simmons. Simmons trying to get in. Raymond had something to say about it, but the puck goes to the far corner. Peterson Shaw can get out. Dunlop keeps that against the far boards. There's a save by Lee, kicked over the near boards. Puck sent down the ice as the Crushers are short-handed. And the play turned over in the zone. Puck's got a stick on it, but couldn't keep control. Comes over the near side. Here comes Lee. Thrown down low. Lovelock with it. Sends that to the far side. Mardashov drops that back for Haynes. Back to Mardashov. Cox trying to drag it out. Mardashov sends it deep. Jolicoeur-Gagnon picks it up in the corner, sends it to the far side. Cox trying to challenge. Haynes shakes him off. Haynes sends that down low. Picked up by Nice. Over to Haynes. In front. Lobswick's going to throw that in front and just get it underneath the pad of the Crusher goaltender. On the power play, KC Elite score with 2:27 left in the first period to tie this game at 1. Face off. Almost ready, waiting for the officials here. KC sends that into the Crusher zone. Lee with it. Puts that over to Jolicoeur-Gagnon. Now comes loose. Stoico with it, off the boards. Nice pass to James. James right through check, comes on the right side, tried to sweep that over on the far side. That was broken up by KC. They get the puck back in their own zone. Puck goes loose behind the KC net. Pressures battle it back. Stoico with it, sends that into the near corner. Back to the point, to Wilton. Wilton holds the line, there's a shot, tipped in front. Good save there. James comes back, backhand. That's saved by Bill. James with another steal here. Sends the puck down low. It's going to be picked up on the far side by KC Snowden. Stretch pass. Zawaluk comes in the left side. Utley directs him wide of the net. Zawaluk tries to send it up back again. Comes up the skin. He goes back, picks up the lead. Utley's going to wheel it up, puts it off the boards. Comes out to center. Turned over. Here's Fayad walking in the left side. Puts that down low. Fayad with it. Sends it to the far side. Center in pass. That's going to come all the way out to center. Simmons with it for KC. Reinhardt almost got the stick on that. Puck goes into the Crusher zone. Reinhardt with it. 45 seconds to go in the period. Tried to wheel it the far side. He's caught. Now comes over to the near side. Getting into the zone. Morel with a chance. Oh! He had the goalie beat but couldn't finish. Puck goes to the far boards. 30 seconds to go in the period. Morel with it once again. Hard around the boards near side for Reinhardt. Reinhardt back to the point. Taylor with the shot just wide. Ends up on the far side. Morel with it. Leave it to Seaman. Over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt back to Morale. Back to the point to Lidovchenko. He sends that down low. 5 seconds to go in the period. Reinhardt is going to hang on, sit down low, and the Crushers with excellent zone time, but run out of clock. Teams will head into the dressing rooms here. We are going to get a flood, but it's going to be the only flood of the game. Floods for the tournament occurring after every 2 periods. So we'll take a break here, folks, and see you back in about 13 minutes. Ankle biters.
Sorry?
Ankle biters.
Yeah.
Watch out for the ankle biters. Team Husky prospects in the house. Oh, nice.
Lots of chocolate in them, I think.
Yeah,
With sugar.
the Farrell. Smell candy. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Argyll. This is Crusher Cup 2026. Canada Crushers wearing the dark jerseys are tied at 1 with the KC Elite wearing the lights. Crushers open up scoring early in the period with KC answering on the power play about 10 minutes later. Puck's dropped on the second, and here we go. Dunlop takes that for KC, puts that into the zone, handed back to him, thrown out in front, kicked away by Lee. Lee's gonna cover that up. We got our first stop of the period with 19:49 left in the second. Face off near side in the Crusher zone. Swept over to the far corner. Jolly Kugano tries to put that up the boards. It's knocked down by KC, but Stoika comes back for it. Puck comes out to center ice. Simmons comes back to zone. Throws that up the near side. Haynes receives the puck. Chopped away by Jolly Kugano. Stoika coming up the left side. There's the shot off the chest protector of Yule. KC's trying to go at the far side. Pressure by the Crushers. Keeps the puck in the zone. Ref tumbles in the corner. Slow to get up. Rubbing that thigh. He's going to be okay, it seems, folks. Here comes KC into the zone. Offside called here. And we got to stop with 19:10 left in the second period. Ref making some adjustments off camera. We'll take a look here. All right. No, yeah, the ref's good to go. And the face-off just outside the Crushers zone. Put in the right side. Number 50 for KC. Throws that in front off the stick. Lee has to put the paddle down. And it comes off the pad and he covers it up for the 19:01 to go in the second. KC just threw it in front. The bodies forward there did get a shot on, but Lee was able to hold his ground. Got the face off on the near side, and the Crushers on. Initially won by the Crushers. Bernardislav able to find loose puck, slap wide. Thrown up by Lehman to James. James, space coming up the right side. There's a shot that is wide, comes up the near side. Lidovchenko keeps the zone. Oh, we're going to send 2 into the box. Looks like I heard 17 white. So that's Mardashov. And then who else? That is it. Okay, so KC Elites number 17. Mardashov is going to be in the box 2 minutes for slashing, called with 18:45 left in the second period. Crushers on the power play. James wins it for the Crushers, gets it back to the point to Taylor. Taylor fires that in a stick and just pops wide of the far post. Reinhardt with it. Hangs on. Sends that down low to James. Back to Reinhardt. He got his stick checked as he tried to get the shot off. And KC throws the puck down the ice, clear in the zone. Wilton over to James. James around to the far side to Reinhardt. Rolls off his stick. Now James with it for the Crushers. Going to come across center. Hangs onto it. Carries it into the corner. Well, that was close to hooking, but Lyman picks it up. Low shot. Buell with the save. Taylor pinches. Puck chopped down the ice. KC makes a change after the clear. Wilton with it. Up the far side for Peterson shot. No, Jolicoeur Gagnon. Turned over. Low shot. Lee with the save. Cleared away. Now they move it up the ice. Crushers. Go to the right side. It's going to be dumped into the KC zone. Simmons back to play it. Over the near side to Labby. Zala comes to the point. Jolicoeur Gagnon with it. One shot wide. Going to the far side. Peterson Chalk couldn't hang on to it. Comes out to set. Well, hard off the boards. Then goes for the change. Puck sent down the ice. 30 seconds to go in the Crusher power play. Utley picks it up. Versus back to the far side. Yes, gets it to Murat. Touch pass to Reinhardt. Reinhardt makes a nice inside move. Couldn't make the second one. Followed up on the far side by Peterson Shaw. He picks it up behind the net. Comes loose on the far side. KC sweeps it to the far side. Reinhardt reads it. Kept it in the zone. Peterson Shaw with it. Hangs on. Back to the point. He's going to line up. Oh, and it skips past him. Out of the box is Mardashov, and Loblik takes his place on the ice. Here come the Crushers. Full strength. Sorry. It's KC's full strength. Both teams are. Morale throws that back to the Taylor. Flips that to the far side. Peterson Shaw. Off the end boards. Centering pass. Cleared away by the Elite. Stoika with the help of Ledovchenko. Keep that in the zone. Centering pass by Peterson Shaw. Broken up. Now goes to the far side. Comes back to the point. Ledovchenko. Low shot. Tipped just wide. Peterson Shaw setting up shop in front of the net. Parker, Peterson Shaw with the puck. Centering pass. It's just behind his intended target. And KC's going to get that puck down the ice. Loblik tried to make the inside move. Ledovchenko took that away. Loblik gets it back. Drops that back for Haynes. Back for Loblik. Haynes activating. Back door. Couldn't get it to him. Haynes picks up the loose puck though. Walks in. Throws it off the side of the net. Taylor picks it up for the Crushers. Taylor trying to move it around the far side. Now it's kicked over to the near side. Mardashov putting that down low. Loblik's going to pick that up. Taylor taking Loblik to the boards. Now it's put out in front. Haynes could get the shot off. Puck directed back towards the net. Ledovchenko cleans up the loose. Biscuit goes in the near side. Mardashov activates from the point. Walks it down in the corner. Drops that back for Haynes. Haynes. Cross ice pass. Oh, and Stoika read it. But lucky for KC, it hops to the far boards. And they got a defender back in time. Ledovchenko. Over to Taylor. Taylor. Near side for Reinhardt. Reinhardt chops that into the KC zone. Reinhardt up the ice to play it. Kick to the far side. Black goes in for the puck. Steals it. Throws it out in front. That's going to be cleared away by Mardashov. Black breaks up the outlet pass. On the far side, Reinhardt overskates. Now comes all down the ice. KC will put that past the stretch past Mardashov all the way down, and KC scores with 14:26 left in the second period to take a 2-1 lead. Haynes able to just sneak behind the Crusher D. Gets a breakaway on the far side and snipes that just past the Crusher goaltender. Casey up 2-1 on the Crushers with 14:26 left in the second period. Puck's dropped, Casey with it. Dumped into the Crusher zone by Snowden. Jolicoeur Gagnon picks up the puck. Wheels to the far side. It's dropped back behind the Crusher net. Wilton's going to pick it up on the near side. Wilton has stretched it to Reinhardt. That's knocked down back in the Crusher zone. Wilton's still trying to jam it out. Gets a stick out. Sends that in the neutral zone, and Snowden's going to dump that back to the Crusher side. Jolicoeur Gagnon with it. Up the boards, held in by Snowden on the right point. Jolicoeur Gagnon is going to pick it back up again. Skips past Reinhardt. Snowden with it at the point. Far side. Centering pass by Casey. Broken up by Wilton. Wilton's going to pick up the puck on the near boards. Reinhardt with it. Snowden again keeping it in on the right side here. Number 50 takes that into the boards. Comes back to the point. Snowden goes to the far corner. Jolicoeur Gagnon. Hard off the boards. Can't get that. Oh, it comes over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt on the right side. Reinhardt on the near side. Reinhardt couldn't catch up to the puck. Was bounce on him just past the net. Reinhardt gets that up to the near boards for Black. Black sends that down low for Reinhardt. Reinhardt goes to the far side. Over to Black. Low shot. And Black's gonna even up the score for the Canada Crushers. Feed from behind the net by Reinhardt. Over to Black coming up the left wing. And Easton Black puts it into the back of the net with a hard shot past the KC goaltender. Goal comes, 13:08 left in the second period. We're all tied up at 2. So that line both gave up a goal and evened it up on the same shift. Puck's drop now and ends your zone. Lidovchenko up the near side. His pass upended. Centering pass broken up by Utley. Utley's going to take that to the far side. Up to Turin. Turin walking it in. Gets past one man. Low shot on the back door. And it's lost in the skates of Seaman. He had the wide open net. Lidovchenko over on the near side. James with it. Gets that into the KC zone. Wheeled around the boards to the far side. Humberstone throws that up as well. Who moves that to number 91? Fayette tried to go low on near side. Chopped up in front. Pull it up. Lee comes over again. Hangs on to, and it's just over the net. Put down low. Utley's going to pick that up. The whistle's going to go. We got a penalty coming to the Crushers here. And it's going to be a head contact penalty against Lidovchenko. Oh, James, pardon me. James into the box. It'll be 4 minutes, I guess, for a head contact penalty called with 12:14 left in the second period. Oh, not now. Now they're throwing me for a loop. It's only a 2-minute penalty. Face off near side in the Crusher zone. KC wins it. KC on the far side. Wheeled behind the net. Over the near side for Haynes. Up to the point to Mardashev. Mardashev, near side for Haynes. Haynes walking in. There's a shot. Fought off by Lee. Picked up by Loplik. He moves that back to the point. Mardashev with it. Low shot. Blocked in front of Dunlop. Tried to direct that towards the net. Ends up going wide. On the far side. KC with the puck. Near side. Haynes lets it skip. And that's going to come out of the zone. Loblik back for KC with 1:20 to go with the man advantage. Pressured by Lehman. Haynes with it. Well, Lehman's going to read that. Pick it up on the near boards. Chopped away from him. Moved up the ice, but far side. Here comes Haynes again. There's a shot. And Haynes has his second of the game. Picking the same glove side of the Crushers goaltender. And KC power play goal comes with 11:18 left in the second period. They're now up 3-2. Puck's drop, KC with it. Snowden starts off in his own end. Wheels around to the near side. Hits speed. Gets into the Crushers zone. Toe drag. That's broken up by the Crushers. James with it. Sorry. Morale with it. Gets it back to... outlet pass by Jean-Luc Gagnon. Knocked down by KC. Centering pass. Here they come. That's broken up. Stoika put the puck for the Crushers. Tried to move that up to Morale. Morale on the back end. Gets that in. Snowden trying to get in front of him. Pulls him down. And Snowden's going to end up in the box for this one. Whistle goes here. And the Crushers now will have a chance to answer with their own power play. Penalty to Snowden comes with 10:41 left in the second period. Peterson Shaw ready to take the face off for the Crushers. Crushers come away with it. Morale hangs on. Takes that into the corner. Pestered by Halabi. Morale moves over to the far side. Now it's swept down the ice by KC. Lee sets that up for Etner. Etner, far side for Wilton. Wilton up to Stoika. Stoika sends that down low, looking for Wilton. In front. Oh, and I think that was Crushers have that on the near side. Well, backhand shot, and Beal's going to make the save there with 9:57 to go in the second period. Crushers make some changes with full cell change. 1:16 left in the Crusher power play. KC tries to move the far side. Crushers keep it in. Here's Gray. His shot wide. Sent down the ice. Zavalek couldn't catch up to it. Lee puts that to the near side, knocked down by a high stick. And the Crushers, well, discombobulated with this second power play line right now. Coach Gray is going to keep them on the ice. Give them a chance to redeem themselves. Puck's drop, comes over to the near boards. Crushers have it. Lidovchenko behind the net for Wilton. Wilton, far side for James. James gets that up to Black. Black to Reinhardt. Reinhardt comes up the left side. Throws that into the slot. Just off the mark. Wilton keeps that alive. Reinhardt with it. Reinhardt comes to the near side. Hangs on. In front. Black tries to jam it in again. Another chance. Cam forward. And Black scores back-to-back for the Crushers. This one on the power play. And the Crushers have tied it up at 3 with 9:04 left in the second period. Off at center. KC moves that into the Crusher zone. Put back to the point. There's a shot. Lee with the save. And he'll hang on with 8:52 to go in the second. KC wins the draw, but the puck comes all the way back into their own zone. Snowden goes to the far side. Moves that up Dunlop. Dunlop moves that to the open ice. Loblick's going to catch up to it. Stopped by Jean-Luc Gagnon. Loblick moves that back to the point. That's read by Rima, centering pass. Peterson Shaw coming in. Shot in the front, still to the near side, still loose again. Turn around, and Peterson Shaw's going to find the puck. Just wide. Moves up the boards. Haynes gets that for Casey. Centering pass, broken up by Peterson Shaw. Peterson Shaw hangs on. Tries to go back to connects. There's a hard shot on the right side. Is that Utley? Indeed. There's Utley with the shot on the far side by the Crushers, but Buell makes the stop for Casey. 8:02 to go in the second period. We'll have the face-off on the far side in the Casey Elite Zone. Casey initially had the puck, couldn't get out of the zone. That was held in by Tree. On the right side, Gray flips that into the slot. Turning around, Lehman couldn't get a shot on. Tree comes to help. Now comes loose. Nice. He's going to move that away for KC. Gets that up the right side. Drops that back for number 50. That was broken up by Tree. And he battles for that on the near boards. Hard hit behind the play with Reinhardt. Ref not catching that one. Tree with it. On the far side, Fleming up to Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets a stick on it. But the back check from Halabi breaks that play up. Turned over in the zone. Here's Reinhardt. Turns that out in front. Lehman check just as he's about to shoot. Simmons moves it up the near boards. KC. From number 50. Far side. Gale's going to pick that up. Centers that to Nice. Nice. Goes over the near side to number 50 who dumps that into the zone. Taylor back. Picks it up in the corner and puts that to the open side. James picks it up for the Crushers. Nice pass up to Cox. Cox with space. Comes up the left side. Over to Lehman. That's broken up in front of the net by Casey's defenseman. I believe it was Halabi. Crushers with the puck in their own zone. Gray stretches that down the ice to Stoika. Stoika chips that in. Jared out in front. 50's going to get that for KC. Sends it to the far side. Here comes KC into the Crusher zone. Humberstone with it. Tried to center that. That was blocked in the near boards by Wilton. Cox with it. Moves it up to Wilton. Wilton trying to get some speed. Oh, there's a shot on, and Buell's going to make that stop. Dropped up in the air. Comes down in KC's zone. Fed to the far side. Omar Fayyad's going to pick up the puck and rush it in for KC. There's a shot off the glove of Lee and over to the near boards. Morale flips that behind him. Shot from the point by Shalafo. Lee is able to contest with that. Wilton with the rebound off the far board. Shalafo knocks that down in the zone again. Lee with the pad save. Wilton gets the puck for the Crushers. Throws behind the net for Lidovchenko. Morale with it. Bounces it into the neutral zone. And Shalafo comes back for it. Shalafo throws that up the middle. It's going to skip past him. Lee had to make the save. It was just off the side post. Just inside that side post. He had to put the paddle down. Lidovchenko for the Crushers. Dumps that behind his own net and over to the near corner. Wilton to Morale. Halabi seals the boards. Keeps it in for KC. Battle for it now. It's going to come loose for Morale. Morale up the ice with it. Left side for the Crushers. Walks in, backhand, and what a save by Buell. He covers it up. No, it stays loose. Black trying to shovel that back in front. Can't get it there. Get some help from Morale. Peterson shot, trying to set up. He pulls it off the far boards. Back to the point. Shot by Utley. That hit a stick and is going to go out of play. We're going to stop here with 4:39 left in the second period. These two teams battling hard. They're tied up at 3. Puck's dropped in KC zone. Reinhardt wins it for the Crushers. There's a shot from the point, right on, and Buell able to cover up the rebound. KC wins the draw. Put over the near side. Mardishev throws that right. Another sent to the far side. Simmons picks that up for KC. Centering pass to Loblik. There's a shot off the mark. Comes off the boards. Centering pass up the side of the net. Lee's going to cover that up. We're going to get a stop here with 4:11 to go in the second. Draw. Be on the far side in the Crusher zone. James, Loblik gonna face off against each other. And it's scrambled, but Crusher's gonna come away with it. Lehman walks it in. Right down the middle. Now he comes to his left side. Puck chucked off his sticks, but he gets the loose biscuit in the near corner. Sent back for Trin. Green battle for it. Trying to get some help from James. Mardishev comes away for the Crusher, or for KC, sends it to Simmons. Now Mardishev up in the near side for Loblik. Back to Mardishev. Back to Loblik. Loblik behind his own net. Cut off by James. Turned over Trin. Low shot. Pad save. Rebound goes to the far boards. Trin keeps that in the zone. Comes loose. Lehman. In front looking for Taylor. That is blocked. Great defensive play by Mardishev. Lehman with it. Hangs onto the puck. Trying to drag it out in front. Still with it. It's going to come to the right point. Gray with the shot. That hit a body. Comes over the near side. Taylor activates. Shot. Bounces in front. That hit a player. And here comes KC. Three abreast back the other way. Loblik with it. Left side. That's broken up by Gray. Gray puts that down the ice. And it'll be an icing call here with 2:51 left in the second period. So with 2:51 left in the second period, we're tied up at 3. Face off far side in the Crushers zone. Crushers win it. Put over the near side by Wilton. Up the ice by Lidovchenko. Received by Peterson Shaw. Peterson Shaw tries to walk into the high spot. Down low shot. Puck still loose. Turn around. Stoika fires it home. And Joyce Stoika turns the lead for the Canada Crushers with 2:31 left in the second period. Shot blocked in front, comes over to Stoic. He has to spin up in the high slot and through traffic, fires it past the KC goaltender, and the Crushers are up 4-3 with 2:31 left in the second period. Puck's dropped once more. KC jams that into the Crushers zone. Lidovchenko back to play it for the Crushers. His pass put to the near boards. Broken up. Wilton breaks up that centering play. Comes over. And Peterson can't get it out of the zone. Lidovchenko though battling. Now comes number 50 for KC. Thrown out in front. Rides up on Lane. Lee is going to hang on. He's going to get the stop here with 2:06 to go in the second period. Late stages of the second. We're only going to take a brief break here at the intermission, as floods only occur after every second period. So don't go far. After the final whistle of the second period, folks, we're not going to be long. We'll go right into the third pretty quickly. Puck's dropped in the Crusher zone. KC wins the draw. On the near side, number 50 carries that down low. Upset by Jolicoeur Gagnon. KC still in possession. through the slot, over to Nice. Oh, and it bounces off his stick and wide. Jalika Gagnon bumps him off the puck. Put up the far side. Crushers can't get it out. High shot. Lee with the save. And now he's going to cover it up. Ryder Lee picking that out of the air. Ends up popping out his glove, but he's quick to cover it up and get the whistle with 1:37 to go in the second period. Face off won by the Crushers. Gray has that. Eats that up in the boards. Still battle for it. To the point, shallow full, low shot. Lee with the save. And we're going to stop here with 1:18 to go in the second. Face off far side in the Crushers zone. KC wins it. Low shot. Lee with the save. Pops right in front of him. He's able to cover it up quickly before Humberstone can get his stick on it. Ready to go once more. 1:14 to go in the second period. KC wins another offensive zone draw. Shalafo didn't like what he saw, so he brings it out to the neutral zone. Wheels it back in. Black removes him with a puck. Gray with the loose pass out of the zone. Walking it in. There's Morale. Morale comes on the left side. Right side. Black with the hat trick. What a pass by Morale. And the Crushers open up a 2-goal lead with 55 seconds to go in the second period. Shalafo for KC comes out of the zone as he tries to re-enter. He's caught from behind by Black. Gray puts that to the outside. And the Crushers kick it into the offensive zone. Morale with it, goes to his left side, fakes the goal. He sends it right side over to Easton Black, who will complete the hat trick with 55 seconds to go in the second period and puts the Crushers up 5-3. Puck's drop. Crushers going to come away with it. They get it into the KC zone. Reinwright throwing the body there. Haynes picks up the puck. Over to Lobler. Sends that back to Fayad. Fayad gets one there. Pass my foot in. There we go. Puck up the center. Wilton saw that and he dumps it back in the KC zone. Throw that down low. Behind the net. And now the Crusher bench up and alive with his hits in the offensive zone. 19 seconds to go in the second period. Draw will be on the far side in the KC zone. The Crushers up 5-3. Drop, KC has it. Bad takes that into the corner. Fada, sorry. Stolen back by the Crushers. Wheeled over to the near side. Loblik throws that up the middle. Connects with... there's a little Dunlop with the shove on the far side. Lee with a great save. Coming over with the paddle. And he keeps the puck out of the net. Time expires on the second period with some action by the Crusher goaltender. What a save there by Ryder Lee, and able to keep the 2-goal lead on the board for his team, the Canada Crushers. Brief break, folks. Like I said, no flood here, only after every second period. See on the clock there's about 47 seconds to go in this intermission. Hello folks, welcome back to Argyll Arena here in Edmonton, Alberta. You're tuned in for the first game of the Canada or the Crusher Cup 2026 for these two teams. On the left, wearing the dark jerseys, the Canada Crushers are up 5-3 on the KC Elite, who wears the whites. KC coming in strong, chopped off the puck as they get their time in the offensive zone. Puck comes back out. Simmons with it, far side for Labby. Turned over in the neutral zone. Lehman with it, flips that to the outside. Nice pass to himself. Lehman's going to move that in, dump that down low. Peterson Shaw picking it up for the Crushers. Looking for Stoikot, gets it to him on the near side. Oh, and it skips past him, pardon me. And KC moves that out to the neutral zone. Haynes with it. Haynes walking it in, toe drag. Gets the pass, Charlie Canyon. Oh, I followed up with Loblik, sending it home. Lee was stuck on the far side. Loblik finds the loose puck low in the slot and pounds it home. Brings this game within one. KC goal scored with 19:16 left in the third period. It's going to be a one-score game. Here goes center, Reinhardt, over to Black. Black moves that in the right side, flips that to the far side. Morale's going to pick that up in the corner. Swept around the boards to the near side. Gray's going to pinch in, jumps between Humberstone. Down low, Gray with the puck. In front from Morale, it skips up high. Reinhardt flips that just over the crossbar, goes to the far side. Gray with it again. Up to Taylor. Taylor has that come out of the zone. Casey gets it. Here they move it up the ice. Humberstone tried to wheel it around Black. That's broken up. Comes in the near side. Lee hangs onto his post. Hangs on to the puck. Whistle goes. And gets up. Not liking getting chopped at the end of that play. Lee coming up fired up. What's going on in front of his net. Draw will be on the far side in the Crusher zone. 18:35 left in the third period. It's 5-4 in favor of the Crushers. Puck's dropped. Casey has it. Crushers sweep that to the far side. Knocked down. Murdershaw, his shot directed wide. But activates, come up the left side. Now it's flipped over to the far side. Wilton trying to move it up the boards. That's knocked down. Nice with it for KC. Leaves that in the corner. Wilton hard off the boards. Treen's going to come away with it for the Crushers. Gets that out to the neutral zone. Cox over to James. Back to Cox. And Gale takes it away. Oh, activated with Treen. He keeps that in the zone. Fired it in and across the ice. Comes up the near boards. Put down low by Cox. Swept to the far side. Marchesov with it. Centering pass. Kept in the zone. Good hustle there by Reimuth. Cox tries to drag that towards the net. He's bumped off the puck. Fada moves that to the far side to Marchesov. Centering pass. That's broken up in the zone by the Crushers. Lidovchenko throws a shot. Steered aside by Buell. Put out in front. Oh, just the stick on that. Stoika gets one. Oh, and James got the stick on it, and it deflects just over the net. Crushers keeping it in the zone. James trying to battle it off the boards. Reimuth with the loose puck, throws it out in front. Marchesov read that. He's going to flip that out of play, and we'll get a stop here with 17:07 to go in the third period. Face off in the KC zone. 17:07 to go in the third period. Crushers are up 5-4. Ref's just over on the left side of the screen talking to the KC bench. Getting things sorted, and we're ready to go now. Puck's drop. Crushers have it. Peterson Shaw over on the near side of Reimuth. Beat off the puck in the corner, and the KC's coming away with it. Haynes, far side. High shot, wide of the mark. That hit a stick. Comes off the end boards. Peterson Shaw goes that on the near side. Loblet got a piece of it, but it's moved down the ice. Reimuth centering pass for Peterson Shaw. That's read by Simmons. He got to the spot first. KC with it. Flips that to the open side. Reimuth read that. Keeps that in the zone. Battle for it on the near boards. Moving it down the ice was number 50. Goes to the far side. Zelly Gagnon picks that up for the Crushers on the far side. Reimuth moves that back. Utley. Utley with it. Hard stop. Reverses up the near side. Reimuth with it. Centering pass by Simmons, broken up by Stoika. Stoika down the ice for Peterson Shaw. Here comes Peterson Shaw up the near side. Tried to go low, and Beal, he closed the door on that. KC with it. That's knocked down. Oh, and Lehman puts that off the crossbar. It stays out. Moved out to the neutral zone. Taylor sends that to the far side to Gray. Gray back to Taylor. No, it skips past him. Picked up by Seaman. Seaman into the KC zone. Rushes up the right side. Hard around the boards to Gray, sitting at the left point. Moves that down to Reinhardt. Reinhardt has it up off his stick. KC moves that around to the near side. Taylor with it. Taylor moves that down low. That's cut off by KC's D. Thrown out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Haynes. Gray was watching him and removes him from the puck. Taylor moves that to the far side. Comes out to center, just barely. Delayed offside indicated. Crushers get a free pass to move it out. Comes to Lehman. Lehman turns and can get the shot off. KC up the ice with it again. Humberstone centered, broken up by Wilton. Wilton up to Seaman. 2-on-1 back the other way. Reinhardt with it on the right side. Left side, Seaman. Seaman! Oh, that came out of the back of the net. Yeah, that hit the back of the net and then came out the ref. Got it. And a great pass by Alex Reinhardt over to the far side to Cole Seaman. Seaman off the glove of the... Oh, they're not calling a goal. I take that back. Well, had me convinced. Anyway, so the score remains 5-4 in favor of the Crushers. Wilton with the shot. Put over the near side. Humberstone with it. Centering pass. Goes to the far side. James keeps that in the zone. Black trying to chip that down low. He is bumped. Keeps battling for it. Marshall right side. Humberstone back to Marshall. Marshall moves that around James. Lidovchenko cuts that off for the Crushers. Goes back to his own zone. Lidovchenko. He's tripped on the play. Puck moved around to the near side by Wilton to Black. Black up the boards to James. James comes up the right side. Gets the pass off. Oh, what a save there. James follows it up, and James has got up under the back of the net. Crushers score with 14 minutes left in the third period. They go back up by 2. So a tripping call was about to be made in the Crushers zone, but the team was able to move it to the outside and up the ice. James rushes in the right side, gets it over on the left side. Sorry, I already forgot. And the Crushers put it into the back of the net. 6-4 for the Crushers with 14 minutes to go in the third period. KC with the puck. They come into the Crusher zone. Nice. Near side for Gale. Gale chips that towards the net. Steered aside by Lee. Battled forward in the near corner. Down low. Peterson Shaw with the Crushers. Sealing against the boards. Now it comes loose for Utley. He's checked trying to exit the zone. Peterson Shaw able to follow that up. Moves that up the ice. Will I be able to read that? Crushers. Back to KC zone. Passing the near side to Gale. Gale trying to walk that in. That is chipped away. Followed up by Dunlop. Dunlop with a shot. And rifles that to the top corner. And KC scores. They have an answer of their own. This one comes with 13:20 left in the third. Makes the score 6-5 in favor of the Crushers. 1 goal game. And these teams able to fire it into the net at will. Clearly no lead is safe in this game. This is the first game for both teams in the 2026 Crusher Cup. KC with the puck. Simmons puts that up the near boards. Cut by Gray. Gray off the outside boards. It's going to roll back. Beal sets that up for Alabi. He's checked by Reinhardt. Stoika, pardon me. Stoika with the puck. Down low for Reinhardt. Reinhardt's going to move that up. Checked off the puck coming the near side. He's not going to give up on the play. Tries to take it away from number 50. Puts up the near boards. Comes loose. Here's Nice with it. Carries it behind the net. Goes down low. Centering pass. Looking for number 50. He picks up the puck. Swept over to the near side. Gray with it. Taps that against the boards. Layman with it. Over to Gray. And it looks like Reinhardt is into the box. 2 minutes for cross-checking. Called with 12:29 left in the third period. And a great chance for KC Elite to tie this game if they can put one in on the power play. Gale taking the face off against Stoika. Puck comes to the near boards. Chalifo keeps that in. Goes to the right side. Shot. Fought off by Lee. Comes over the near side. Chalifo with it. Holding against the boards. Now comes loose. Lehman's going to pick that up. He's going to dump that down. Puts it right on to Buell. Sets that up for Snowden. Snowden wheels behind his net. Pass up to Loblet. Loblet. Back to Haynes. Haynes coming up the left side. Sharpshooter on the team. That's broken up by the Crushers. Oh, what a block there by Seaman. And Seaman coming up the right side. Gets it into the KC zone. Hangs on. Seaman spins back into the corner. Eats it up against the boards. Boblek with it for KC. Comes across center into the Crusher zone. Left side for Gale. Back for Haynes. That's blocked in front by Lidovchenko. He felt that one. Boblek behind the net. Moves it over to Fromm on the near side. That's jammed away by Seaman out to neutral zone. Chalifo coming into the Crusher zone once again. That shot blocked by Wilton. Goes to the far boards. Comes in front. Lee is going to cover that up. And the Crushers will get a change in. .11:05 to go in the third period. Crushers are up 6-5 on KC. But KC on the man advantage. They have 37 seconds left with power play time. Puck goes to the far boards. Morale's going to pick that up for the Crushers. Slip in the near side. Stopped by Fada of KC. Fada with it. Centering pass. Gray got a piece of it. Put up the ice for Morale. James comes up the left side. James He is hit heavy. Puck comes loose. Casey with it. Oh! James looking for revenge. Put the pound on Fedai, and James is going to end up in the box for this one. Here comes Casey into the zone. Crushers have killed off the penalty. Loose puck to James. James puts that down the ice. Charging being called on James of the Crushers. Penalty called with 10:23 left in the third period. KC wins the draw. Here's Simmons at the point. In traffic. To the net. Turn around and fire down by Utley. Labby on the far side. Moves it up to Simmons. Simmons coming into the zone. Put to the far boards. Number 50 with it. Low. There's a shot. Lee with the save. Rebound comes over the near side. And Lee, able to close the legs on that, hangs on and gets the stop with 9:51 to go in the third period. Good attack there by KC. Better stop by Lee. 1:29 left in the power play for KC as they take the draw on the near side in the Crusher zone. Battle for it, comes loose. Dunlop can get the shot off. Wilton wills his way towards him and breaks up that play, gets the puck down the ice. Simmons with the puck behind the KC net, resetting the breakout. Goes to the far side, picked up. Now comes through center. Dropped back to Nice on the near side. Nice trying to walk that in. That's broken up. Puck goes back to the outside. Number 50 with it for KC. To the point to Labby. That's swept to the far boards. Nice with it. Down low. Hanging on to the puck. Everett Nice sweeps that down low for Dunlop. Back to the point, Nice with the shot. Oh, just missing the near post. Bounces off the boards, goes to the far side. Jalifo bumped off the puck. Lidovchenko is knocked down in the zone. Peterson Shaw able to get a stick on and gets it out to the neutral zone. Snowden quickly coming back the near side. Walks that in the slot. He's bounced off the puck. Lidovchenko hard off the boards. That's all the way down the ice, clearing it down. On the forecheck, Cox helping eat up penalty kill time. KC with it now with 10 seconds to go with the man advantage. Haynes coming up the left side, looking for the pass. That stick by Gray directs the puck wide. Comes into the slot. Up high for a little shot that goes through everybody, goes to the far side. Moved down the ice by Stoico, looking for Reinhardt. Reinhardt picks it up in the far corner. Hardenshad bumps him off the puck. They both end up on the ice. Reinhardt sweeps that to the far side. Lehman with it for the Crushers. Lehman back to Stoico. Down low for Reinhardt. Reinhardt in front and just past him, comes over to Gray. Gray down to Lehman. In front for Reinhardt, his shot blocked, and then Buell able to find the loose puck. Covers it up with 7:49 to go in the third period. Face-off will be on the far side in the KC zone. Crushers are up in the game 6-5. KC wins the draw. They take it behind their own net. Found some space on the near side. Fedai's going to move that up to Loblo. Loblo into the zone. Drops that back, far side. Comes to the left side to Haynes. Haynes with a shot that comes right into the middle of Lee, who catches it and hangs on with 7:30 to go in the third period. Face-off will be on the near side in the Crusher zone. Fayad wins that for KC, gets it back to Simmons. Fayad takes that into the corner. Now it's bumped off him. Utley goes to the far side. Coming up the left side. Rymite with a shot. Oh, and it's in! Crushers Rymite coming up the left side. Takes a powerful shot. That just squeaks inside of the KC goaltender, and the Crushers are back up by 2. Goal comes, 7:13 left in the third period. Crushers 7, KC 5. Puck's dropped. KC has it. Moved into the Crusher zone. Crushers pick it up. Thrown back out to center. Simmons over to Simmons. Simmons steals it for the Crushers up to James. James right side. Oh, and it's a blocker save by Buell. Puck goes to the far boards. James picks off that corner with a good stop by Buell. Oh, and into the box now will be the KC Elites number 14 Simmons. And the Crushers, with the 2-goal lead, will be on the power play. Penalty comes, 6:52 left in the third period. Puck's dropped, Crushers have it. Wheel over to the near side, and Morale moves that back to the point, that lead down to Morale on the right side. Cross ice, picked up by Wilton. Wilton tried to feed that out in front, jammed away, comes in front, still loose, comes up. Peterson top, pokes that down low. Next person to it was KC's player, I think it was Nice, moves that up the ice. He moves it up to number 50, who carries that into the Crusher zone. Utley takes the puck away from him, tries to bounce it up the boards. Chalifos back to play it. Throws that to the wide side, tipped in the zone by Utley. Utley low shot, tipped in front by Peterson Shaw, and goes wide to the far side. Battle for it on the far boards. Great effort there by Fada. And he gets that puck into the Crushers zone. Had to battle through 2 Crushers in the zone to move that puck and clear it down the ice. Here's Peterson Shaw for the Crushers, taking up the left side with speed, steps into the slide, his shot, hits a stick, comes over to the near side. Black with it. Black fights through a stick check, gets it over to Morale. Morale with it. Right side to Utley. Thrown that in front. Wilton was trying to set up, and it skips past him. Puck picked up, though, by Peterson Shaw. Picked off the boards, though, and Casey's going to move that to the Crusher zone. Utley, open ice to Black. Black taps that up to Wilton. Wilton comes in. There's a shot. And Rowan Wilton scores on the power play as it bounced off Buell and into the back of the net. Crushers now up 8-5 with 5:13 to go in the third period. Power play goal for the Crushers increases their lead to 3. Puck's dropped, Crushers win it. Gray moves that up the ice. He's looking for Lehman. It skips past him. Icing called in. .509 to go in the third period. Puck's dropped. Crushers Gray has it. Chest moved on the outside boards. It's knocked down. Lehman trying to follow that up. Battles that out to center. Caught by Gale. Oh, he gets it up to Reinhardt. Go Reinhardt on the right side. Goes left side to Stoika. Stoika caught that on the back side. KC with it. Ooh, Reinhardt almost cleanly stole that back. Puck comes into the Crusher zone. Here's Haynes. He's blocked on the far side, and Loblik couldn't tap it home. It was wide of the net. Crusher's moving that down the ice. Reinhardt picking that up in the far corner. Tried to center that back to Lehman. That was kicked to the near boards. Comes back to the line. Wilton keeps that in. Moves that down to Lehman. Lehman on his backhand. Can't get the shot off. Green over to Reinhardt. Back to Lehman. And Lehman on his backhand. Couldn't get the puck to go. And the net has come off. So the whistle goes. And we get a stop with 4:08 to go in the third period. Face off in the KC zone. KC moves it up the ice. Here they come up the near side. Puck stolen away by Wilton. Seaman moves it over to James. James sits up behind his own net. Tries to go to the far side. His pass knocked down. James gets it back though. Rips it around the boards. Simmons for KC keeps it in the zone. Down low. Wilton with it. Shovels it around the boards. Kicked out. Simmons caught the Seaman. Draws that in front, that's blocked. Battle for it on the end boards. Crushers come away with it. Comes out to the neutral zone. Far side. Dumped in. And icing called here. Crushers with patience avoid a offside call, and then KC with a mispass ends up being icing. We'll have to face off inside the KC zone with 3:13 to go in the third period. Crushers are up 8-5. Puck came out, delayed, offside. Nice tries to move it up. Ryman knocks that back into the KC zone. Now comes out again. Utley with it. Walks the line, dumps it into the far side, goes to chase it. Shaw picks up the puck. Gets it over to Nice. Nice look for Fada. That's broken up on the near side by Ryman. On the far side, Mark Shaw moves that up to number 50. Takes a bump from Seaman. Here comes Peterson Shaw. Okay, that was Tureen with the bump. Tureen with the puck down. There's a high shot. That comes off the end boards. Peterson Shaw, back to the point, Utley. Utley, stop shot, wide of the mark. Just missing on the near side post. Throw it out in front again, comes off the outside of the net. Nice with it, looking for Humberstone. That was broken up by Peterson Shaw. Peterson Shaw in the near corner. He's upended. Walking away with it is Fadas. Far side. KC in, return pass. Skips over to the near boards. Peterson Shaw in the corner. Moves that up to Tree. And KC caught with too many men late in the third period. It'll put the Crushers on the power play with 1:55 to go in the third period, while the Crushers have a 3-goal lead. Be cleared away by KC. Here is Lovelock. Right on the ice. Makes the inside move. Lovelock short-headed right into the midsection of Lee. He hangs on, and the whistle will go with 1:42 to go in the third period. Great rush by Lovelock. Tried to put the team on his shoulders, but couldn't get past Lee, the goaltender for the Crushers. KC with the puck. They keep it in the Crusher zone. Haynes trying to walk it down. He's swept off the puck. Reinhardt back to pick it up. Gray, far side. Picked up by Morale. Morale walking that in. Oh, and they're going to call it on the offside. So offside called here with 1:21 to go in the third period. Face off far side of the ice. In front of the KC bench. KC pushed it forward, but the Crushers have it. Gray, right side to Morale. Morale trapped down before he can get into the zone. So he just fires it around the boards. Reinhardt picks it up on the far side for the Crushers. Morale comes back to help. KC gets it out. Simmons couldn't get past the waiting defenders of the Crushers, and Morale ends up with the puck on the near side. Dump back into the KC zone. Shalafo with it. Far side, Simmons with it for KC. Centered up to Lodlick. Lodlick with space once again. He's going to rush it into the zone. Coming over to the near side. Throwing it in front, looking for Haynes, and it's going to get past him. Lodlick with it. Turn fired. Lee with the save. Crushers Gray. He's going to wheel it up the ice now. Taking it up the left wing. Tracked down by Simmons. Takes the puck into the corner. Comes loose in front. Hard shot by Morale. That is steered aside by Buell. Simmons up. Oh, Morale steals it again. Can't keep it on his stick though. That's going to be moved up the ice by Haynes. Haynes may have overplayed it. He's getting caught in his own zone, but regains possession. There you have it. The buzzer goes on this one. And the Crushers open Crusher Cup with an 8-5 win over KC Elite. Our next game will be from Kinsman Twin Arenas tonight at 7:30 p.m. We'll get the better equipment out for that one, because I can use free internet there. Thanks for tuning in today, folks. Your final score here at Argyll, 8-5 in favor of the Crushers. We'll see you later tonight. I guess we have to keep going just for a second. I forgot about player of the game. Landon Haynes for KC Elite, player of the game. And for the Canada Crushers, number 22, Easton Black, with a hat trick in the game. Two top scorers in the game receive hats for this one. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We will see you tonight at 7:30.